Okay, grade 11s. I hope you guys are good and are excited for this wonderful year. So you guys are favored this year. You don't really need to learn that trial and error method to factorize your quadratic trinomial expression. Okay, so what am I talking about when I talk about quadratic trinomial expression? So a quadratic trinomial expression, it is something like this: x squared minus 7x minus 9, it's equals to 0. So this is a quadratic trinomial equation. Okay, so it becomes an expression if there's no equal sign. Okay, so today guys, I just want to teach you about what we call a quadratic formula. Okay, a quadratic formula. So where can we start, guys? Okay, let's understand this first. So this, when you were still in grade 10, guys, you'll be required to open two brackets, right? Like this, and then find the factors of x squared, of x squared, which are x and x, right? And then from there, you'll find the factors of minus 9. That can give you minus 7. Factors of minus 9, that can give you minus 7 when you add them. Okay, so when you multiply them, they give you minus 9, but then when you add them, they give you minus 7. Okay, so that was that's what you guys were supposed to do in a grade 10. Okay, but then you also had type 2. Okay, so type 2, it is when you had a coefficient here. Okay, so if you check this one, it doesn't have, this x squared doesn't have any coefficient. But then now you will have type 2. Type 2, it will look something like this: 2x squared minus x minus 1, it's equals to 0. Okay, so this is the type 2 because of it has a coefficient before x squared. Okay, so the x squared has a coefficient. Even this one, you were supposed to do the same thing: open two brackets and equate to 0, and then use that method of trial and error like that. Okay, so today I want to introduce something very powerful, which is called a quadratic formula. Okay, guys, so quadratic formula. Okay, so now a quadratic formula, it is written like this, guys: x is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all divided by 2a. Okay, so this is our quadratic formula. Okay, so in grade 11, guys, there is no need anymore for you guys to factorize this by opening two brackets. You can use this method. You are guaranteed to get the answers. Okay, unlike this one, the trial and error method, it can consume your time while you are busy trying that. Okay, so now I guess you guys are just curious about how does this thing work, what's happening here, plus minus, and then we've got b's there, we've got a, we've got c. Okay, so I will just show you how it works, guys. So remember, quadratic expressions are represented by this formula, which looks like this: a x squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so this is the general form of all quadratic expressions. Okay, so if you check here very well, you will notice that a, it is being represented by the coefficient of x squared. Okay, and then b, it is represented by the coefficient of x, and then c, it is a constant. Okay, guys, so a number that has no variable attached to it. Okay, it's a pure number. Okay, so let's check the above two examples. So here you see the coefficient of x squared, it's 1. So on this equation, the first equation, our a, it is 1, and then on this one, our B, it is equals to minus 7, right? And then our C, it is minus 9. Notice that I said minus 9, guys. I didn't say 9, okay? So every time when you call a number, please call it with its sign, okay? The sign that is on the left hand of that number, okay? On the left side of that number, okay? And then if we were to check this one, just look at, let's look at A for this one. A, it is 2. Remember that A, it is represented by the coefficient of x squared. And then now my x is going to be minus 1 here. Okay, and then my C, which is a constant, a number that is not attached to any variable, or a number that is not attached to any alphabet. Remember our mathematical alphabets, we call them variables. Okay, so it is minus 1. Okay, so far so good. Okay, then let us solve one of this. Okay, let us solve one of this. Let us solve the top one using the quadratic formula. Okay, so let's check it. It is what? X squared minus 7x minus 9 is equals to 0. Okay, x squared minus 7x minus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, so now we are going to apply the quadratic formula. Our quadratic formula, it is equals to x is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac, all of them divided by 2a. Okay, so now the second step is just a matter of substitution, guys. Okay, so we are just going to substitute. So we see that here we have b, okay, minus, we bring it the way it is, and then now we are substituting b. Our b, according to this equation, it is minus 7. So we write minus 7 there. Plus minus, we write it exactly the way it is, and then square root exactly the same way as it is. And then now our b squared, we already said that the b is minus 7. Okay, so we substitute b there, we write minus 7, we square it. Okay, guys, notice that always when I substitute minus number, a minus value, I put it inside the brackets. Okay, minus 4. What is our a? Our a, it is this part here. Can you guys see it? That part, it is how much? It is 1. Okay, we assume that it's 1, and then you open bracket. Now what is our c, guys? Our c, it is a constant there, which is minus 1. Okay, and also notice that my square root, it's not covering that minus 1 yet, so I'm not gonna leave it as a crop top like this. I'm just gonna extend it so that it can cover everything. Okay, and then even my division sign, it must cover everything. It mustn't be a crop top, finding that it only ends here. Okay, then 2, what is our a? Our a, it is 1. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so then now we are going to simplify this. X is equals to minus times minus 7. You guys know that the brackets means minus, right? Minus times minus 7, it is 7, right? Plus minus, we drop it like that. Okay, then now the square root of what is under that square root. Okay, so I advise you that take your calculator and only dial what is under the square root. Do not put it under the square root. Remember, the square root is here, it's waiting for it. Only take your calculator and dial open bracket minus 7, close the bracket, square it, minus 4, open bracket, 1, close the bracket, open the bracket, minus 1, close the bracket. And then I think minus 7 squared, it is 49, right? And then minus 4 times 1 times minus 1, it's going to give you 4. So 49 subtract 4, right? It's going to give you 45. I hope I'm making sense. Then you divide throughout by 2. Why 2? Because of 2 times 1, it is 2. Okay, so now the following step, it is very important, it is crucial. Okay, you cannot afford to miss to understand this step. Okay, so that's exactly what will happen with this plus and minus. I guess you guys have been curious about what will happen about that plus and minus on top of each other. So this is what will happen with this plus and minus. So you are going to say that x is equals to 7. On the other one, you use plus, or you can start by using positive. So notice that I only took positive square root of 45 divided by 2. Okay, one can ask, what happened to the minus now? Where is minus? Did we throw it away? No, we didn't throw it away. Or x is equals to, now we are using that minus that you've been curious about. Okay, divide by 2. Then you take your calculator, you press exactly this. Okay, you press exactly that, and then you get your answers. Normally they tell you that round it to 2 decimal place, or they tell you that leave it in a set form. Okay, so when they say that leave it in a set form, they mean that you should leave it in radical sign, like having radical sign, having root signs. Okay, so you will just press your calculator and get your answers here, and press the calculator and get your answers there. Thank you.